Let's first and foremost give credit to Felix Auger-Aliassime, who is such a good indoor player. Clearly one of the best indoor players in the world. His recent results have propelled his ranking back into the top 10. And he is such a complete player, has one of the best serves in the world, and plays such aggressive tennis from the back of the court. He also has the ability to come to the net, a phenomenal athlete who can also defend exceptionally well. And when you put that all together, on an indoor court, this guy is unbelievably dangerous, and he was dangerous for Jannik Sinner. For me, this match came down to two key moments. One that started in the very first game of the match, and then one towards the very end of the match. And it was basically a couple of hiccups from Felix that cost him this match. I thought that Felix played one of the best matches that I've ever seen him play, despite him losing in straight sets to Jannik Sinner. So the match starts with FAA serving, and he commits a couple of loose errors, and Sinner gets a break immediately. Now, Sinner has been serving a lot better. His serve stats are way up. He finished this match getting 72% first serves in. Now, Sinner was not in danger of losing his serve through the entirety of this first set, contrary to Felix, who had to fight so hard for this match not to be a blowout in that first set. His next two service games after he got broken, he had to go over deuce, and he was putting so much effort into staying in this match and keeping it somewhat close, because Sinner could have easily broken both of those service games from Felix and could have won that first set way easier. But Felix stayed so tough and stayed right there with Sinner and made this first set tighter than it could have been. Eventually, Sinner ended up winning it 6-4. First game of the second set, FAA serving. You know Sinner wants to break right away, and he's putting a lot of pressure on the Auger-Aliassime serve. But again, FAA is holding strong, but Sinner manages to get a break point. And interestingly, Felix was serving a lot to the Sinner body. And this is a serve that I'm not a big fan of as a player. And I was so happy to hear Taylor Fritz during Wimbledon, after he played Pericard, say that he also doesn't like hitting body serves, because in my view, it's a waste to hit the ball right in the middle of the box, because the opponent's going to get a racket on it. You can serve it into the corners and get a service winner or an ace way easier. This is my mindset, but all my coaches throughout my playing days, including my dad, have always told me to incorporate more of the body serve. And then when I started coaching, I started realizing that the body serve is actually a very good tactic, but I also understand that some players just don't like hitting it, and I'm okay with it. Now, when it comes to the Sinner return, it is absolutely incredible. He is the best returner on the ATP Tour. Other players should take a look at how FAA was serving against Sinner in this match, because I thought his serve tactics were excellent. He only dropped serve once in this entire match, and it was in that first service game. But again, Sinner is such a crazy returner. Even though Felix was serving well, Sinner still gave himself a lot of opportunities to break, and he did so in that very first game of the second set. But Felix did something very interesting, and he delivered a body blast to Sinner. And this body serve worked exceptionally well on several occasions. He pulled it out for the first time down 5-3 in the first, and he continued to deliver the body serve with great success. He had a little bit more success on the ad side, where that body serve was going into the Sinner forehand and jamming him there. And he still had success on the deuce side, but that ball was going into the Sinner backhand return, and Sinner is so good at bunting that two-handed backhand return back, even if it goes into the body. But nevertheless, I think that is a serve that can work well against Sinner. Of course, not all the time. This is one of those serves that you can't overdo. You got to keep it a surprise. So Felix ends up holding this game, finishing it off with an ace. But similar to the first set, Felix has to work a lot harder in his service games compared to Jannik. And at 3-all, you could just feel that Sinner was again applying extra pressure, and he wanted that break really badly. He goes up 15-40, and I thought this was the best chance for Sinner to get that break. He had a look at a backhand pass that he missed into the net. FAA again delivers a body blast to Sinner, and it works. He saves breakpoint number 2. Double faults on the next point. Serves an ace to save breakpoint number 3. Serves a big serve out wide and puts a forehand away, and then finishes this game off with another ace. Again, exceptional serving from FAA in this match. I've discussed in several videos how some players, after not being able to convert breakpoints, will actually struggle on their own service game. Right after, But Sinner, after having 3 breakpoints on the FAA serve, holds to love. Now, at 5-4 for Auger-Aliassime, this was the only game in the entire match where Sinner had to go over deuce. He was up 40-15, missed the backhand, and double faulted on the next point, and then again, like in so many other matches, started limping in between points. But I've learned not to read too much into Sinner's limping, because not only did he hold this game, he also held the next game very comfortably. Now, FAA also was still continuing to serve exceptionally well, and now we find ourselves in the tiebreak that featured only one mini break and a crucial error from FAA. So like I said in the beginning, there were 2 moments in this match that cost Felix this match. It was committing some of those loose errors in the very first game and missing a half-court forehand where he was down 3-2 in the tiebreak. Now, after Sinner got this mini break, he started playing like Pete Sampras Jr. Big serving, humongous forehands. The point that 3-2 hits an inside-out forehand winner. Point that 4-2, he's ripping forehands like there's no tomorrow. And you could just feel that this match is over. It's 5-2 Sinner. Felix continued to serve well, 5-4. And now Sinner needs 2 more points on his own serve to finish this match. And what does he do? On his first serve, he delivers a blast down the tee, followed up by another forehand winner. And then match point up 6-4, he actually misses the first serve, hits a solid kick serve, and then he gets into a backhand cross-court exchange with FAA. And here's the thing about the Sinner backhand. We know, just looking at stats, that Sinner has the best hold game on the ATP Tour, and he is one of the best servers on the ATP Tour. He is the best returner on the ATP Tour based on stats. Now, when we look at shot quality, I think it's a toss-up for the forehand this year between Sinner and Alcaraz. I have to take a look at the numbers at the end of the year. But I haven't even seen the number, and I don't need to see the numbers to know that Jannik Sinner has the best two-handed backhand on planet Earth. Listen, FAA has a phenomenal two-handed backhand, but in a cross-court exchange, you can see that Sinner's backhand is heavier, it's bigger, and it's simply better. They showed the average speed on the backhand, and Sinner's average speed was in the 130s, while FAA's was in the 110s kilometers an hour. In this rally, match point up, Sinner is blasting cross-court backhands. The amount of angle that he gets on his backhand is absolutely insane as well. And at one moment, Sinner had the feeling of switching the direction, and he hits a absolutely perfect two-handed backhand down the line and wins the second set tiebreak and collects his first Paris Masters title. Again, my hat is off to Felix. Not only did he have a great indoor season, winning Brussels, making the final of Paris, but the amount of strength and will it took for Felix to stay with Sinner in that first set. I think a lot of other players would have just folded over. He was fighting so hard just to keep this match close, and he was able to do it. If Felix continues to play like this, now he's in the top 10. I think his ranking can go even higher, and as he did at the US Open, I think he can go deep at the most important tournaments, pretty much on any surface, because Felix is such a versatile player. But unfortunately for Felix, his 8th place at the ATP Finals is not sealed yet. He has to go to Metz next week. Can you believe it? And play another tournament prior to the ATP Finals. And Musetti has to go to Athens. It's going to be between Musetti and FAA who makes that final 8th spot. Bublik is in Metz as well, but I don't think that Bublik has a mathematical chance to make it. For sure, Bublik can be an alternate, and that's something that he hoped to achieve this year, to make it to the ATP Finals, even if it was as an alternate. Guys, I'm covering the WTA Finals, a very exciting tournament featuring some great matches. I made a video yesterday about the new, I'm not going to say improved, Madison Keys serve, because it's not. So check out that video from yesterday. And also check out my coverage of day 2 at the WTA Finals. Make sure that you subscribe to both of my channels at Intuitive Tennis, which is my main channel. Also subscribe to Intuitive Tennis 24/7. And if you want to support Intuitive Tennis, subscribe to Intuitive Tennis Premium by clicking the link in the pinned comment. I will see you guys soon in the next video.